obviously the result disappointing on Saturday. Really want to be getting ourselves back to winning ways, or at least positive points, but your own personal performance, you must have been satisfied, not with the goals conceded themselves, but the number of saves you made and the job that you did on the day.
It's always nice for a goalie to make a couple of saves in a game, but I think any other goalie would agree you'd rather have no saves and come away with a couple of points. But harsh reality of football, and Falkirk are a good attacking side, so you're bound to have a couple of shots in the game that you need to deal with.
We spoke to Rhys after the game, and I think the frustration was that the goals that we conceded were maybe themselves sloppy. They had other chances that we dealt with good defending and good goalkeeping, but the two goals themselves we probably could have done better with on the day. Is that the kind of thing that's just not happening for us at the moment? The bounce is going the wrong way, they're getting the drop of the ball, it just seems to be all at once.
I just think luck's just not going our way at the minute. If you fling in injuries, fling in how the games go, but in the games, like all season, it's just like one or two incidents that happen that it goes the other way. But I said that weekend, I don't think we're a million miles away. I think something will click and we'll get back to where we should be.
No better time for it to start clicking than on Saturday. Obviously we go to Dunfermline knowing that it's 9 versus 10, but I suppose you guys won't be thinking about it that way. It's about another game, another opportunity to get 3 points.
Aye, definitely, it's always a game at a time. You just face what's in front of you. But it's true what you said, they're closest to us in the league, so it's a 6-pointer at the end of the day. Need to go there, we need to take points regardless, so it's a massive game.
I suppose the one thing we can't allow ourselves to be is kind of daunted by it. We need to keep ourselves focused on the individual job and not get kind of overawed by, oh, this is a really important game, because at this point in the season they're all very important.
Aye, definitely, as I said again, it's taking every game as it comes. Every game's got to be different, whether you're playing top of the league, second bottom of the league, it doesn't matter, it's just a game of football, it's 90 minutes. So I think we just get the ability in the changing room that we just need to go and show it, and hopefully things just go our way, come away with a couple of points.
What do you expect from Dunfermline on Saturday, the game itself? We've already played them one each year, but over at East End Park it may be going to be a different scenario. What are you expecting from the match?
I think it'll be a good game. I think both teams are just, as I said, really unlucky at the minute. Dunfermline have got really good players attacking wise, good players at the back as well, so I think it's going to be a good game, like individuals playing up against each other, but I think with them having the home advantage it will be more in their favour. However, I don't think we've anything to fear. With the players we've got, with the ability we've got, I think we can go there with confidence and hopefully get a good result.
What's the feeling within the dressing room at the moment? I know obviously we've got some bodies missing, but you guys that are there playing these games, what's the kind of mood amongst the camp?
It's good, because Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday training's always good, always intense, which creates a good atmosphere in the changing room. Always when training's good, you get a wee buzz about the place. We just need to take that into Saturdays, take that into the games, and I think once we do that, things will start going our way.
You've mentioned it briefly already, but the belief within the dressing room and that you've got and your teammates that the quality is there to go and start putting positive results together.
Yeah, oh, definitely. I don't think anybody can doubt that. You look at last season, the boys that Airdrie had, the boys that are still here, from last season, just shows you they're good players. Airdrie wouldn't have got to where they got to last season if it wasn't for these players. So I think the belief's there, the ability's there, we just need to have that belief that you can do it.
And I suppose it's we have these conversations on the Tuesday, we talk about it, and it's obvious, I've said this before, we get to see a wee bit behind the scenes and see you guys interact. There is a good mood amongst you, there's a good level of camaraderie, it's just needing that to click on the park and for something to break our way, because you get the feeling, although I'm biased, you get the feeling that once that happens it's going to be like lift off.
Well, I agree with you. I think we just need one good result, one good performance when things do go away, and I think it'll just kickstart our season. I know it's hard saying that in November, but I do believe that.
Kieran, thank you very much. Thank you.
No problem at all.
Rhys, looking back on Saturday, obviously another defeat, but grounds for some optimism based on some of the performances and some of the parts of the game.
I kind of stand by the kind of messages that I said after the game. I think there was no really much between the two teams in the first kind of 30 minutes. A couple of opportunities that from our point of view we like to do a lot better with, certainly in the forward areas. And then obviously, like I said, Falkirk had a lot of the ball and had a couple of chances that they should do better as well, and frustrated, but not to get away from. I think it's 50 something games or something, and at home they're unbeaten, so difficult game, but like I said, full focus now. We've got a big one on Saturday, which we're obviously looking forward to.
It's probably, I can't really remember a time we've gone this many games without a goal, so is that the part of the game that you're going to be focusing on? Does it work like that when you think about the way the chances aren't really coming for us? And I suppose that can't just be about forwards, that's about, you always talk about we defend as a team and it starts from the front. Same must apply going the other way.
Aye, I think to kind of use that analogy, look at the Hamilton game, we look much more threatening going forward, and kind of numerous opportunities that we'd like to do better with, but at the same time we're vulnerable at the back. So as long as you're trying to get that blend, of course we'd like to go forward and kind of be a bit more creative and stuff. Confidence and whatnot plays a huge factor in that as well, so it's important that we try and get the right balance. We're not going to go out and go and score 6-7 goals and be comfortable in that at the back. You'll find that probably when one thing starts to click, it'll be one thing at a time. So like I say, we've got to make sure that we're still an attacking threat. We'll put real kind of focus on that, belief in the final third, in the attacking half, and also on the defensive side.
And as much as it's maybe not happening as often as we would like, when we are getting into the box, we're looking dangerous, we've come close a few times, so I suppose you just need everybody to keep believing in what they're trying to do and the value that will come from that.
You've just got to keep getting yourself in areas, strikers and forwards and stuff, they're going to miss loads of chances, that's the nature of their position, but the main thing is they keep getting themselves in those kind of areas to miss the chances, and sooner rather than later one of these opportunities will come, and our forwards and stuff will probably walk out with a couple of goals, and that's obviously the wee bit for a confidence level, that just getting that one or two just helps kickstart your momentum and shift from a confidence point of view. So make sure that we're drilling the messages. Listen, the goalposts don't move, the areas where you score goals don't move. It's just about kind of keep harping on and reiterating that message to the boys.
A lot's going to be made, I suppose, from the outside of this game with Dunfermline being 9 versus 10 and how they call it a 6-pointer, all the usual kind of cliches. But going into the game, what do you expect from it, and what's the approach going to be?
To win the game. Like you said, I'm not going to sit and kind of sugarcoat anything. The message certainly from my end and to the boys is that, like you said, 6-pointer, whatever you want to call it, it's a massive game, and I'm going in there with the mentality that I'm going to win, and that's kind of how I always approach games. I think given the games that we've played Dunfermline in the past, they've always been kind of entertaining affairs, quite cagey affairs at time, going away from home, so they'll also have a slight advantage on that side. But it's two teams who are probably struggling for a little bit of form and a little bit of consistency, confidence maybe not being at the exact moment where you like it to be. So we've got to make sure, like you say, that we prepare right, we work hard, and we're going to Saturday to get 3 points.
They've not had the best of times of it recently either, but I suppose all you need to do is look at their victory over Livingston to know that on their day, just like anyone in this division, they're going to be a dangerous opponent. Is it about going in and asserting ourselves and playing with that kind of shoulders back, chest out belief that we can go and impose ourselves on Dunfermline?
Well, I think in the league itself, the kind of nature of the league is that, like you said, anyone on their day can give anyone a problem. There's not a kind of stand out kind of runaway performer, and in saying that, like you say, they got a good win at Livingston. You're probably thinking that maybe kickstarts them, but then they suffer a few negative results, and again, it's one that the only way you're going to win a football game is by imposing yourself in the game, whether that's your approach, whether that's your kind of formations, tactics, whatever your tactics and kind of game plan is in the game, sitting back and kind of waiting for things to happen and waiting for Dunfermline to gift you opportunities certainly won't win you a game of football, and that's as basic and as clear as you can be. I know for a fact going to East End on Saturday, Dunfermline are going to hand us 3 points, so we've got to go and earn them, and that's the message, is that every game you've got to go and make sure that you do your basics, you do your fundamentals kind of really, really well as best you can, and you go and you earn the 3 points, and by doing that you work hard, and you tend to find that your luck starts to kind of sway. And I'm a big believer, like I said, that hard work and the application that you put in gets your rewards. So the big focus from us all week will be purely on kind of learning from those mistakes and kind of areas that we've obviously been poorer at, and then obviously looking at Dunfermline's strengths and weaknesses, where I think that they'll look to try and maybe exploit us and stuff, and then us trying to have that kind of counterbalance and make sure that we go and impose ourselves on their weaknesses.
Last time we played them, the one each here, got off to the kind of poor start with the penalty that we conceded. Mason scores and gets us level, and it just felt like had there been another 5 minutes in the game, obviously I'm going to see it this way, but had there been another 5 minutes in the game, it looked like we were going to grab that winner. So do we go in with a bit of added confidence from how we performed in that match?
Possibly, not personally, because like you say, I do think we were a better team. I don't think it was a particularly entertaining game, but I think, like you say, we did enough to win. We were the team on the front foot. I don't think it was a penalty. If I remember right, I think Muzz gets contact on the ball, and then you find yourself one down against the run of play, and we had chances and stuff in the game, and we're the team, like you say, maybe an extra 5-10 minutes added in the game. We looked fit, we looked strong, so but again, that was us at home, so it's about making sure that we're aware, we adapt. We're going to be away from home, they'll have obviously a home support behind them as well, and it's about making sure that we implement the game plan to the letter of the law and going and getting 3 points.
I know it's only Tuesday, so any kind of updates will be dependent on how things go during the week, but how's progress going for your other bodies, the injured bodies? How are they getting on?
Getting there. Again, probably sound like a broken record. A lot of it is kind of rehab and kind of repetitive kind of training sessions and rehab and seeing how they react. Try to think off the top of my head if anyone's kind of closer to coming back. I think Big Aaron Reid and Mason stepped up onto the pitch and we're doing some kind of more high intensity based pitch sessions, which is obviously pleasing. We'll have Liam McCabe back in after a kind of long period off with an ACL, so he'll be back in the next week or so, ready to be integrated to training, which will be a big boost for the boys, for myself, for everyone in the club, supporters. Trying to think else off the top of my head. I think Tyrell picked up a little knock, just nothing kind of major, I don't think, but again we kind of took the opportunity to leave him out today, and hopefully obviously going into Thursday we'll have a much more healthier squad to pick from.
Seeing the other guys, so it's probably not going to change the on the day options, but seeing these players getting closer, does that give the rest of the squad that boost and that confidence, just seeing their teammates getting that bit nearer to joining them on the pitch and in this match?
It should do, but as I've said to the boys and the lads who are fit and healthy just now, it's about making sure when the boys come back fit that they don't get in the team. That's the mindset that I would have, and that's the mindset that I expect my players to have. You know, we've had Dean McMaster, for example, Liam McCabe been out for a long period of time. It's about making sure we get that lift, like you said. It'd be great to have the boys back in training, gives us a much more healthy option to pick from in terms of squad. But then from the lads who are playing point of view, it's a chance to be a bit more selfish and make sure that these guys aren't going to come back and take your jersey as easy as you think. So kind of double-ended sword, but like I said, from my point of view with the manager, I'm just looking forward to getting these boys back. It gives me a better headache, much more kind of players and pool to select from, which obviously from our point of view is great. It means you can make more subs, you can kind of start with a system and a style to suit personnel as well, and you're not kind of one hand tied behind your back. But it's one of these things that we go with what we can just now until we have these guys fit and available. They're doing their best and their utmost to get back fit, and it's not through lack of trying or hard work.
So I suppose that also means you can lay the gauntlet down, like you say, to the players who have the jersey just now. Like, these guys are making their way back, so if you want to be the person wearing that shirt from the start of a game, you've got to go out and earn it. Of
course it is, and that's the message, and like you say, it maybe sounds a bit cutthroat and to the point, but that's how I am sometimes with the boys, and everybody knows that. It's one of these ones where we've already kind of touched on it in certain bits in meetings and stuff, and these guys will be coming back, and of course after a long period of time they'll be itching to get back into the starting team, feeling like they can contribute. So these guys will be desperate to take their jerseys off the lads who are playing, so it's up to them to do something about it.
Rhys, thanks very much. Thank you.
Cheers.